Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is a morning homemaking routine. I'm just showing you what I am up to on a typical morning. I work from home, so this is kind of a regular morning for me, and I'm just going to take you guys along with me. Before I get into my morning routine, I wanted to unbox my new WISHLUCK Ultrasonic cleaner. Not only is this an ultrasonic cleaner, but it also doubles as a clock, an alarm clock, and it's got the temperature on there and the date, and you can change the colors. It's such an amazing little machine. I decided to put this one on my bedside table just because I thought it would be handy. It's got the clock there, and then I can sanitize my jewelry whenever I take it off at night, so I thought that would be the perfect spot for it. I've been seeing these around a lot lately, and I've always wanted to get one, and this one just looks so nice, and it's going to match my decor in my bedroom. I got the white one, so it'll sit on my bedside table and it will clean like jewelry, toothbrushes. It even has a little case for contact lenses, so if you need to sanitize anything, it is right there. So you just open the top compartment, and that's the area where you do your sanitizing. But I didn't realize when I was setting it up, you had to peel the protective cover off of the display screen. So there's like a little line running through it. Once I peeled it off, it was totally fine, but it is hard to see in real life. It only shows up on camera. And here's what it looks like with the film removed off of the display screen. I just wanted to show you guys what it was like without the little flash going through the screen. But this is the compartment where you do the ultrasonic cleaning. Those are the little LED lights, and this is the compartment that I'm going to place my jewelry in to be sanitized. I love wearing jewelry, and I have so many different pieces of like costume jewelry. I've got gold pieces, but I have a lot of pieces from other companies that I've worked with in the past, like Ana Luisa, and I love their jewelry. So it'll be nice to just sanitize some of those pieces. So I'm just adding some water. There's a little line in there that'll tell you the max amount to add. So you add your water in there, you drop your pieces of jewelry in, and then you turn the machine on, and then you will hear it starting to work away. So these are the pieces that I'm going to throw in there. These are pieces of jewelry that I wear really like often, so it'll be nice to sanitize and clean them so that way they look nice and shiny and new. And not only that, but you want to like kill any germs or bacteria so you don't get any infections in your ears. I've had that happen before, so this is perfect for that, especially for someone who has sensitive ears. But I also really want to do my toothbrushes, and I have so many different items that can go in here. So I will show you guys in future videos as I discover new things to sanitize in my ultrasonic cleaner. But it is really quick, and as you can see, the little pieces of jewelry are like vibrating in there. So it's loosening up the dirt, and the LED light, it's hard to see when it's open because the lights only go on when the lid is closed. So I'm going to show you guys a little peek, but those lights, they're like UV sanitizing lights. So they're going to sanitize the jewelry. Meanwhile, the vibrating motion is like cleaning them. You can hear the sound of the machine working. I always hear these sounds when you walk by jewelry stores, so you know that this is getting your jewelry nice and clean. And it's pretty quick. It does not take very long at all. You can see the bright purple LED light in here, sanitizing the jewelry too. If you guys have ever used an ultrasonic cleaner, let me know in the comments below if you have any favorite items to clean and sanitize. I have so many ideas, but if I'm missing anything, I would love to hear what you guys have cleaned before. It would be really fun to show that in some of my upcoming videos maybe. And I was just playing around with the different colors on the LED display. It's really neat how you can change the colors to your mood. I was in a good cheery mood today, so I wanted it to be that rainbow color. And the alarm clock will go off in the morning, and then it'll be the color that I set it to. So that's really cool. So if you guys want to check out the WISHLUCK Ultrasonic Cleaner, and I will make sure I link it down below in the description box for you guys. Okay guys, I have been so excited to share this with you guys. I made homemade English muffins. And once you make them at home, you will never go back. There is nothing that compares. If you buy store-bought English muffins, you have to try this recipe. It really is not that hard. It is a little bit of work, but honestly, it is so worth it. If you are at home on a weekend and you've got like Saturday morning or Sunday morning, take a little bit of time and make these. You can even make like a double batch for the week or something like that. I was at home. I woke up really early on this day, so I just thought I would make it for the boys before they had to head off to school. I think it came across an Instagram reel or something like that that said you have to try making homemade English muffins. So it just got in my head and I kept meaning to do it for like a month. So finally I ended up doing it. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the first part of the recipe where you just make your, I can't remember what it's called, like a yeast bath or something like that. But anyways, this is just a yeast mixture. It's like water, milk, I think there's sugar in there and some yeast. I will make sure I link this recipe for you guys down below in the description box. It is not my recipe, so I just found one online, but it was delicious. So I'm just going to follow along with this person's recipe from their website. Now that the yeast mixture is set aside and the yeast is activated and doing its thing, I'm getting the dry ingredients together. We are putting it into my mixing bowl here. Ever since we moved, I cannot find the other attachments for my KitchenAid mixer. It's in the storage unit, and I've been saying for literally like a year I need to go clean it out. So that's my goal for this spring. But my whisk attachment and my paddle attachment is in storage. So right now I just have my hook attachment. So this recipe says to use your paddle attachment, but I used my hook and it worked out totally fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn on the mixer and just get that dry ingredient mixture all combined and mixed together. And then I'm adding an egg into the measuring cup. Here I am trying to film some footage to make an Instagram reel, but I am not very good at that, so I didn't end up posting this because I forgot to film the rest of the clips. So I just kind of gave up on that. But anyways, I just added the wet ingredients to the mixing bowl and I turned on the mixer and I walked away and literally it was like about to go over the edge. It kept moving, so luckily I came in just in time. But this is what it looks like. I just took a quick peek at it. It's really stretchy, it's really sticky, it's a lot different than regular bread dough. It's really interesting, but anyways, I had a lot of fun making this recipe, so I recommend you guys give it a try. But what I did is I just scraped down the sides here, and this had to mix for, I believe it was like 7 minutes or so. So 7 minutes, I just checked on it a couple times, scraped down the sides, and then it was good to go. So I just went ahead and sprayed a mixing bowl with some olive oil spray, and then the dough went into the bowl. You have to be kind of generous with the spray because it is a very sticky dough. And then I just covered it up and we set it aside to rise. I think it was for about 40 minutes or no, I think it was about an hour. And I put it in the oven under the proof function and then that was it. I think it was at this point 6:30 a.m. So I just went ahead and put that in the oven and walked away. And then by the time it was ready to turn out onto the floured surface, it was this big. So I just love the way this dough looks and the texture and everything it was just so fun to work with. So I just went ahead and put some cornmeal down on a pan just to make sure that the little English muffins don't stick because it is a very sticky dough. So I pulled out the dough, turned it out onto a heavily floured surface, and then you don't really need to punch it down or anything like that. Once it plops out of the bowl, you just kind of flatten it a little bit. And then I used a 3-inch glass to go ahead and cut my little muffin shapes out. And you can absolutely take the scraps and just wrap them up into little English muffin shape discs. That's exactly what I did. I added like a teeny little bit of water if it wasn't sticking, and I just kind of spread it in there just to make sure it can stay into that shape. And then you just set them aside and you let them rise for, I believe it was 30 minutes. So for the baking part, you are going to want to use a cast iron pan if possible. You will put some fresh cornmeal on there. You're going to want to make sure you clean the cornmeal off in between cooking because you don't want it to burn. So when you are making a new batch, make sure you wipe out that cornmeal. So we are going to put them on here. I cooked it on a low to medium temperature. You're going to want to keep an eye on it because you don't want them burning. And you just cover them up with a lid, and it says 5 minutes per side, but I found that mine took a little bit longer. I was being really cautious because I really did not want it to burn. These were so easy to make. They were cooking up no problem. Even the ones that look kind of messy because they were made from scraps, they turned out just perfectly. And I ran out of strawberry jam, so we had some apricot jam. So I just put some butter on them with some apricot jam, and they were delicious. Once I had those English muffins cooked up, I headed upstairs just to get dressed. I'm gonna have to drive the boys to school soon, so just getting my comfies on and gonna head downstairs and make sure that they are fed and have all their stuff. I'm just quickly assessing the mess in my bedroom here. Most of the stuff is like still boxes from the closet that we cleaned out like probably a month ago. We've literally been out of town every single weekend for hockey, so I've had such a hard time catching up on the messes around here. It's like hard to keep up as it is, never mind all of the stuff that we have from when we moved back in. You guys are probably thinking like, this is crazy that it's taking so long to get organized, but I can't even explain to you how busy it is with running around with the boys all the time and out of town for hockey and stuff like that. So here we are just about to run out the door. We've got a hockey bag out the door because there's hockey this morning. So we're just gonna head out and then I'm gonna come back home and get some dinner made. But I'm just warming up my coffee because of course it's cold, and I'm gonna take it with me for school drop off. So you kissed a girl just 'cause you wanted to. When we were in Minneapolis last, I picked up a copy of The Parade of Homes. I love browsing the beautiful homes that they have for sale. I've wanted to move to that area for a long time, so I just keep looking on there. You never know, maybe we'll expand business there one day, but I'll just keep looking and dreaming until then. Also, when we were down there, we picked up a pair of the On Cloud shoes for Chandon. He really wanted a pair of these, so he got those on his last hockey tournament. And I picked up a package of my shades. I'll be showing you guys the shades that we picked up for the kids' rooms. We have 3 of them installed right now, but I still have to put these up, so I'll show that in one of my upcoming videos. But right now we're just heading out the door, so I will pick up where I left off when we get back in. Alright guys, I'm back home now, and I'm just going to get the kitchen tidied up a bit before I get started with anything else. So you came home late just 'cause you wanted to. Your mom's still awake with her heart in two. She started, where have you been? It's 2:30. Only because you came home when you wanted to. You think I pulled these out of the freezer for dinner. We're going to do chicken and steak. These are beef medallions. They're actually really good. They're pre-marinated. I also pulled out these turkey wings. I've had them in the freezer for a little bit, and I just want to get them used and make up some more room in the freezer. So we're going to make turkey and rice soup today. So looking into my living room from the kitchen, you can still see that I have the set of couches at the back door. We just have them covered with a blanket to protect them from just the cats jumping on them and stuff like that. So those still have to get taken to the other garage or to the basement. We're still trying to figure out the configuration for the couches. The reason I never really show my living room in my cleaning videos is it just doesn't feel comfortable. It's not really set up yet. We have like the one sectional in there, but that's not going to stay in there. I want an area rug. We still have to finish the fireplace. So it's really not cozy feeling. I just want to get that done as soon as possible. And then I can't wait to share my cleaning in there with you guys. So right now, just putting the turkey wings in a pot of water, and we're going to turn that on. This is why sometimes it's easier for moms just to unload the dishwasher and put things away themselves. When you get like teen boys are doing it, this is actually gross because there's hair in here, so that needs to be cleaned out. But anyway, besides that, there's like stuff everywhere that doesn't belong. This is all supposed to be like cutlery and knives, and we've got all sorts of things that don't belong here. So I'm gonna have to do like a decluttering and organizing video in the kitchen. I know I did that a few years back, but hockey's gotten so insanely busy for us that I haven't had time to do that. But like, usually I keep all of my cooking utensils over here in this drawer. So everything has a place. But the problem is people not putting things away where it belongs. So, you know, this is what we're dealing with. I'll have to do that another day. Alright, so I just need to get some celery for the broth. I'm like down to my bare ends of celery. So I just kind of scraped together what I could just to give the flavor to the broth. So it just basically was the turkey, water, carrots, celery, onion, and salt and pepper. So we just have that downstairs simmering in the pot. So while that's happening, I came upstairs to throw in a load of laundry. The laundry is nonstop, you guys. Like, I am making progress upstairs, but unless I clear out the whole family for, I would say like three days would probably be enough. It's like I'm like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So it's just taking a really long time to get everything cleaned and organized, because not only am I dealing with like daily messes, but I'm dealing with trying to unpack and organize a bunch of stuff. So I've also got my scent beads here. Right now I'm just washing a load of sheets, and I like to use these ivory scent beads. I think it's like for baby clothes, but it just makes your bedding smell super nice and fresh. Back at it in the kitchen, I'm just getting the carrots ready to throw into the broth mixture. So I'm just rough chopping the vegetables at this point, because when the broth is ready, I'm going to strain the meat and the vegetables out, and then we're just left with that like delicious, healthy, flavorful broth. So I'm not too worried about making the pieces all even or small bite size. Also, parsley. I'm like, this parsley is like just on the verge of being thrown out. I use it for another recipe, but there's still some good pieces in here. So I'm just picking them out, and we are going to rough chop that and throw it into the broth as well, just for some extra flavor. And I wanted to mention, on this week, we are like in between hockey tournaments, so we are home for 4 days. I was on a mission to try not to go to the grocery store as much as possible and just use what we have in our freezer at home. So that is why I tried to make like a turkey soup. Not only do we have a couple of sick kids at home, but I also wanted to just try to save money because we're spending a whole bunch of money going on these hockey tournaments, and just cook with what we have at home. Groceries are so expensive right now, so sometimes you just have to get creative. Take a look at what you have in your freezer and your pantry and just try to pull something together. Alright, so I just ran upstairs for a quick shower while I had the pot on very low, just like a simmer temperature. I had this simmering all day, so the broth ended up being so delicious because it was slow cooking all day long. Alright guys, I am totally overwhelmed with all of the housework I have to do. We spend way too much time out of town for hockey, and now I'm playing catch up. So I have a few loads of laundry to fold. I'm just gathering up my hangers so that way as I'm folding whatever needs to be hung in the closet, I can just go in a hanger right away. I'm just going to get started with my laundry here. So if you guys have any laundry to catch up on, folding or putting away or whatever it is that you need to get done, you can work away with me, or you can just watch and get your motivation and do it later. There is never enough time in a day. Like, I will work as fast as possible, but my day always gets broken up. I'll have to like pick one of the kids up or drop them off at school, get them to hockey, get to the grocery store, make dinner, etc., etc. And especially me trying to run my YouTube channel as well, I have to set up some time for that as well, for editing and whatnot. So it's hard. I don't really get like a full day to focus on one thing. I have to split up my day into a whole bunch of different pieces to get things done. But that is just, I guess, like all of us moms basically have to juggle all of these different things we have to do. So I had to leave the bedroom that I was putting away clothes and folding, and those bins I wanted to get taken care of. I had to leave that so I get back to chopping up the actual vegetables for the soup. So I'm adding carrots now. I did strain the meat and the other vegetables out, so now I'm just left with a nice clear broth. And then I'm adding, like I said, I just put those carrots in. We're putting in rice. I have no celery left, so I did run to the store afterwards and get some nice fresh celery. I ended up putting in a little bit too much rice, but it was still good. I put in 2 cups. I probably should have just done 1.5 cups, but it was nice and hearty. The soup was really delicious. I enjoyed it, and we had 2 of the kids in the house had stuffy noses and coughs, so a nice brothy soup was so good for them. And I also took some meat pieces from the chicken wings. There was lots of good meat on there, and I threw that in the soup as well. But that is it for today's video, you guys. Make sure you guys come down to the comments and chat with me. I will be down there hanging out and talking to you guys. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so you guys don't miss any of my future videos. And I will see you guys next time in the next video. Bye!